If you've ever tried bass fishing a drop shot, you need to see this because you'll never fish a drop shot rig for bass the same again after you watch. Several bass tournaments are won every year fishing this popular technique. The problem is, because it's so successful, everybody's cashing in on it, and there's hundreds of baits, thousands of opinions. It's really hard to know what to do with a drop shot. What we're gonna do today is, by the end of this video, you're gonna know the most important things to pay attention to make your drop shot actually catch more bass. From what I've learned over the years as a bass fishing guide, you're gonna get these results through knowing these three things that we're gonna cover here today. Number one, what makes a good drop shot bait? Don't you think your drop shot fishing will be better once you know what makes a good lure? Absolutely, right? Number two, how to get better action out of rigging your drop shot baits. Number three, the key mistake most anglers make when working their drop shot. So stay tuned, you'll be catching more big bass on a drop shot in no time. So first, let me talk about these drop shot tips that we're gonna be covering here today. And let me start off by saying, hey, this isn't the only way you can catch fish on a drop shot. I'm not gonna be able to cover every single situation under the sun for fishing this thing. What I like to do here on my channel is talk about the overarching concepts of what you need to look for and pay attention to that have made the biggest difference for me in being able to go out and catch more bass on this popular technique. It literally catches more fish for me than any other technique that I use. So let's get cracking. What makes a good drop shot bait? As a bass guide, I'm consistently trying and testing new baits to see which ones are gonna perform the best so my clients catch a lot of fish. Honestly, the drop shot bait is so effective. I've caught fish on a lot of baits. The technique just actually works so well. But some baits definitely do outperform others. Here's the three things I look for in a drop shot bait to know whether it's gonna catch a bass or not. Number one, size. The smaller baits absolutely get more bites. 3-inch, 4-inch baits are ideal for getting a lot of bites. Number two is the shape. Traditionally, a lot of drop shot baits are this shad shape, and they work great. I also really love really thin style worms. They catch a lot of fish too. The robo worm, the jackal flick shade, any trick worm, those types of things work great. Something sneaky I've been doing lately though is throwing really small finesse craws on a drop shot. Try that one. It doesn't get talked about much, but it really works. Number three thing I look for in a drop shot bait is the color. Color makes so much difference. It's crazy how you can be fishing the same lure. One guy uses one color, another guy uses another color, and one color will outperform the other. But what I've done with color is I've broken it down to help it be a little bit easier to be consistent. The darker and dirtier the water, go with really bright or dark, high contrast lures, soft plastic baits on your drop shot. That really seems to be the key when you're in dirty, dingy water, can't see down like 5 feet or so. And then when the water's clear, when you can see like 12, 15, I've got a lake that you can see 20 feet deep. You gotta go with really natural colors like the greens, the light grays. Just those natural presentations work so much better because they're more visual feeders when they can see better. I created this chart to help me know what color to use in all the different water conditions. You can snag it for free down in the video link description after you're done with the video. Check it out, it's been super helpful for a lot of people. Number two, how to get better action out of rigging your drop shot baits. Don't you agree this would help your bass fishing? There are so many ways to rig a drop shot. You see this a lot, a nose rig. You also see this, a little weedless Texas rig style. What most miss though is the action this type of rigging creates on your drop shot bait. I want to show you the two alternative ways I've found helps me get better action out of my baits. I stumbled on this way to rig a drop shot by fishing a long time ago. It's called the flick shake, where they'd have little thin worm and a wacky hook with a little weight on it, and you would just kind of let it fall to the bottom and flick shake it along. It caught a lot of fish, but the problem with it was while I was fishing it, it just took forever to get down to the bottom. And so I was like, man, how could I get this down there quicker, super effectively? And I'm like, oh, the drop shot. So I started wacky rigging my worms and letting it fall all the way down on the drop shot, and I was smoking them. It got down so much quicker and faster than the flick shake technique. I've been using that way ever since. I knew it was really good when one day I was fishing from the bank and I was catching them like crazy, cast after cast. A local bass guide came drifting by. He's like, what are you using? You're putting me to shame. And it looked like he was fishing a drop shot as well. The difference was I was rigging it in the middle to create a different action. Here's why I think this style of rigging works better, is it makes your bait have a more horizontal, flat presentation as it falls, which is real natural looking to the bass. And this led me to the other way I like to rig a drop shot. I wondered how I could get these shad shaped style baits to also sit horizontally. I was watching tournament fishing online and I briefly caught a clip of Jacob Wheeler's drop shot bait, and I saw he had the shad shaped style bait that he was using threaded onto the hook, so it's stiff straight across the whole way. That made perfect sense to me of a great way to get that bait to sit more horizontally. And since then I've been doing that. I've been threading these shad shaped baits onto the hook to get them to sit more horizontal. I catch a lot of fish. It's been a real big game changer for me in helping me catch more fish on a drop shot with those two methods. All right, here's the number one mistake people make when working their drop shot. When I first tied on a drop shot, I was completely confused and lost on how to work it. I was completely oblivious to what the bait was doing and how the bass typically respond to these lures underwater. Everything you usually hear says, shake it along the bottom. I tried that, but I didn't really have a ton of success doing that. As I started fishing the drop shot more, I saw something that completely changed the way I actually work the lure. I noticed that 80% of my bites were usually on the initial fall. Once it just I let it fall to the bottom and just sat there, and then I would pick it up and there would be a fish on it. I've also casted to cruising bass with the drop shot and watched them. They'll swim up to the lure, they'll watch it fall, and then when it sits on the bottom, usually that's when they pick it up. It's kind of weird, right? That you'd think that they would be grabbing it up off the bottom, but they just watch it. I've also seen live scope footage, where you can see your lure. You watch those guys fishing a drop shot, they'll watch it fall all the way to the bottom, and they don't even move their rod, and those bass will just go down and pick it up off the bottom. So don't shake your drop shot so much. Just let it set. And then if you don't get a bite, move it a few feet to kind of get their attention again, and then let it set again. Too many people move the drop shot way too much. So try this and see if you don't catch more fish on a drop shot. If you're new to my channel, you should know that I throw in a bonus tip, and it's usually my best one. So here it is. How do you decide on what weight to use? Isn't that important to knowing how to fish a drop shot, is getting the weight right? I keep it super simple. The deeper and the more heavy current you have, go with a heavier weight. The shallower you go with something lighter. When I'm fishing anything less than 15 feet deep, I'm typically throwing like 1/8 ounce or 3/16 ounce. It's just a nice, subtle, light presentation. If I'm fishing from, say, 15 to 25 feet, usually I'm throwing about 1/4 ounce to be able to get down there a little bit quicker. And then if it's 25 plus feet, I'm usually using a 3/8. I've seen people go as heavy as 3/4 ounce. There's a lot of current to be able to keep that bait and get it down there. Sometimes a really heavy weight can cause a reaction bite as it sits down by them. They don't get a good look at it. I'd love to learn more about what you do when fishing a drop shot that you've found super effective. Leave a comment below. Let's get a thread going. And don't forget to check out this video. A lot of people have found this one super helpful to improve their bass fishing.